Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Toon review for what is the Newcastle United versus Brentford match preview. We return to Premier League action, of course, after the international break. Thank God for that. But Newcastle United may be without a couple of players. It looks like Tonali and Botman are definitely missing. So they are two massive holes in the team. It looks like from what I've read today that Sean Longstaff may get the shout to replace Tonali. I'm not too fussed about that, to be honest. I'm quite pleased with it. Give Sean an opportunity to see what he can do. Good evening to Billy and Alex. Alex, are you looking forward to Premier League getting back?
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to playing a team that's not as good as the previous three we've played. Fair enough, mistakes were made in certain games, but you know, Brentford are no slouches. We've still got to be good. They've got some good technical players. Players that have been there for a little while now, like Mbueno and Shada and stuff, are improving and improving and improving. So we've got to pay them massive respect. They're not a bad side. However, we should be trying to win this one. So, well, excited. I don't know. A little bit nervous because obviously 3 games on the trot we've lost, and we've not been used to that in recent years. So, well, I say years, a year and a half maybe it's been like that for. So. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. By the way, tonight, guys, we are giving away some prizes. We've got 2 members' draws, and we have 2 normal draws for everybody that's watching. So we have a. I'll just delve down and I'll show you what the prizes are. These are the prizes. That's the first one. Let me just see. There we are. Can we see that? Nice. Kevin Keegan, and we have another of the Joe Linton ones to give away as well. We're also giving away 2 books, both Bobby Robson ones. That is the first one, A Life in Football, and also Living the Game by Bobby Robson as well. So 4 prizes give away on tonight's show. I will give you instructions on how to do that again very, very shortly. Keith Dites, thank you for gifting yet another 5 memberships. The first one to be gifted the membership is Mr. Reactions. So well done. Niall Powell, you've been gifted a membership as well, as has Mason, Joe Bentley, and Paul Gardner. All gifted those 5 memberships from the superb Keith Dites, who just does so much for this channel. Absolutely incredible. So thank you, Keith. And also to Spike Milligan as well for sending me some of these prizes to give away. The generosity from you guys out there is fabulous. So if you enjoy the show, guys, please do hit the thumbs up button. Again, very important to the channel. And of course, if you're new, please do subscribe. I have a feeling that YouTube have been clearing bots out lately, which explains some of the... we are heading back towards 23,000 again instead of towards 24. So let's hopefully get a few more subscribers in the door. It would be very nice. And I'd just like to confirm to everybody, now we've got over 400 in watching, I've received quite a few messages today asking why I've sacked Alex. I'm not sure where that has come from. I got one particularly horrible one saying that I'm a money grabbing skip rat for sacking Alex. So I don't understand what the hell has happened. But Alex, as you can see, has not been sacked from the channel. He is a massive part of the channel. He's my right-hand man on the channel. So Billy looks a bit confused with himself. He's got the Incredible Hulk standing behind him now. So yeah, but he's still with us. Yeah, so I'd just like to put that to bed that Alex is still here. Yeah, strange.
Yeah, and I had a lot of messages today, so thank you. I'm not particularly fussed about what I've seen. What's happened yesterday, it was a bit odd. It is what it is, I guess.
Odd is an understatement, my friend.
I mean, if I was more neutral and sat on the fence with some of the statistics and analytical stuff, then I'd have certain people not liking me being too impartial. Whereas if I'm a bit too forceful with it, people don't like that. So it's whichever way I frame it, really, there's going to be a small crowd that don't like it. So I'd rather just do it my way, I guess. I'm not out to offend anyone. I'm out to just be
Alex, there's a
this
difference
is
to
the
sticking up
data
for your opinions and
and,
being
you know,
arrogant, but we know that. We know that.
But certain people that were critical, I think it was one or two, one person I've had beef with in previous shows. You know,
Yeah.
just it is what it is.
Matty says, hashtag we stand with Stato. So there you go. Mr. Reaction says, cheers, lads. Really enjoyed myself. Billy, it seems like we have a new, a kind of celebrity now on the show.
100%. I mean, after what happened last night with the comments, everyone was feeling a tag down, and Mr. Reactions came on, and everyone felt great again. He was a real kind of thrust to us all now. That's the right word to use.
Yeah, Billy, your camera's died. You're frozen.
Am I?
Yes.
It's working here.
It ain't working. It's definitely not working on my StreamYard or the actual stream itself. We'll get Billy once he works his camera out. Mr. Spoons, good evening. Hope you're well. Clean Mag says loads of Tony links recently. I wouldn't piss in him if it was on fire. Trouble, trouble, trouble. I'm not so sure about that. I think he's getting that's Billy's back. His camera's back. It was. Oh dear. Tom says got my signed Shearer photo today. Cheers, Paul. Thank you, Tom. Good evening to the Cramlington Wanderer. Everyone's saying thank you to Keith. Indeed, for his generosity. James says hi, Paul, Billy, and the legend that is Alex. Obviously, no Rach. She's with Tarantino rehearsing. Yes, James is, of course, Rachel's partner. Well, James is now in the chat nearly every show, so good to see him there. And of course, Rachel rehearsing for her upcoming play. I didn't know Tarantino was directing it, though, James. So thank you for putting me.
It's not Quentin. It's not Quentin. It's Chris.
Chris Tarantino. Okay, Chris Tarrant. Yeah, I'd see where you're going with that. Billy, you're frozen again, matey. I'll put you out just if you reboot everything, mate.
Okay.
So just me and Stato for now. I Like Coffee says, I missed the post-match celebration photos, so hopefully we can get one after the Brentford game. Yeah, it seems an age since we've done that, Alex, since we've actually had a team photo in the dressing room.
Yeah, it's it's what I mentioned a minute ago. It's we're not used to losing this many on the trot. It's bizarre. Normally it'll be a bad game, and then although maybe that's not completely true because we've had spells where we've had a few like a little bad patch followed by a long winning streak, and then it will be a bad patch followed by another long winning streak, and it's very, I mean, it's consistent with a team that plays such intense football that it goes in ebbs and flows like that. Yeah. It's no coincidence the last couple of seasons. When we go away and do the hot weather tour in Feb, we come back and we go on a winning streak. This has happened 2 years on the trot, so it does kind of happen like that. Although it is a little bit odd. It's the start of the season, so it's a bit weird having an ebb in this bit.
Arani Granny says, glad to see you back, Alex. Don't let Paul firing you upset you. Lee says, what's Adam Crafton's beef with us, lads? Bloke is obsessed with trying to cause havoc concerning our takeover. I haven't seen
a couple of the
anything.
Athletic boys are a bit angry with us. I'm not quite sure why. It's very strange.
Interesting. Mr. Reaction says, he honestly, don't get me started, Alex. I've got you, darling. He loves you, Alex. He loves you. People love starting rumors. Yeah, they do. They do. James says that Alex is always talking, laughing my arse off. Andy says it was just a storm in a teacup, Alex. You arrogant get. Laughing emojis. Ah, dear. Right. Are we going to change the defense on Saturday, Alex? Are we going to see Lewis Hall get his debut?
Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. Because Eddie Howe, it can go one of two ways. He's gone away with Dan Burn and Matt Targett and said, right, it doesn't work. This is how I want it to be better. Or he's going to U-turn and just change the lineup. And it's difficult to know which way he's going to go because he's such a coach. I know that sounds like a stupid thing to say, but obviously you've got very managery managers, and but he is a proper coach. And I could see him trying to just make the same thing work, which I'm not sure I would like. I would prefer Hall to come in and start, but if he's good enough for Chelsea, he's good enough for us. So
yeah, exactly.
You know,
Billy, I mean, we spoke about it with some of the fans last night, and just you want him to start, don't you? I think we all wanted to see Lewis Hall start the game.
Absolutely, but as I also said, Eddie Howe's very loyal to his players, isn't he? They had a poor game last weekend, so you wouldn't be surprised at all to see the same defence pick for tomorrow, Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, wouldn't be surprised in the slightest, as Stato just said. Personally, I wouldn't. I'd be picking Hall, and I'd be dropping Burn as well. So perhaps bringing the Sal's in. I
think the thing is for me though is, you know, we said this last night, Billy, that we've got to. Surely Howe has now got to rethink this, playing his favourites and things like that, because it doesn't work. You know, he's got to try and change it now. We've just had a 199.
He's got an excuse.
Sorry, Billy, go on.
He's got an excuse. He's got a game on Tuesday, so he has got an excuse.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got two games a week coming up for the foreseeable at the minute. Stephen Martin, thank you for your 199 super sticker. That is very kind, matey. Thank you very much. J.L. Broski says we should be worried about Brentford as they are unbeaten in 11 games. But to contradict myself, since their promotion, Newcastle are the only team not to have lost to Brentford. Interesting stat that we are the only ones not to lose to Brentford. Of course, they've had some good victories as well. I mean, they've won at the Etihad and things like that, but they are yet to beat us since returning.
I mean, funny recent form, though. There's a lot of draws in the unbeaten run. It's not so much wins, you know, 1-1s with Bournemouth and Palace, but 2-2 with Tottenham is impressive because Tottenham are flying at the moment.
By the way, we have Mama Toon Stato in the house. If you upset Stato, you upset me. You don't want to do that. Trust me, you don't. You really don't. So there, you have been warned, folks. Chris O'Neill, thank you for your £2 super chat as well. Very kind. Thank you so much. And I believe that's your first donation. Thank you very much indeed. Right, now, when we do the watch-alongs, now we want to sort of improve the graphics and things like that. For you guys watching and for us as well. We want to, and as you know, against England, when we did the watch along, we previewed a little bit of a bit of goal music and things like that. Well, Susan's been working on a graphic. I've been sort of putting the music together for it. So when Newcastle score now during watch alongs, this is what you'll see. Let me know what you think of this, guys. So there you go. That is the new goal scoring music for the Toon review when Newcastle bang in loads of goals. And then you'll see, well, if the camera pans back to you quick enough, you'll see Billy doing a little dance on Saturday. So, yeah, lots of comments coming and saying they love it. Thank you very much, guys. We hope you would. It just
so you can see and hear it a few times.
Well, yeah, that's what we want, isn't it? We want it to be played loads of times on Saturday and for the foreseeable future. James says we need Billy dancing next to it.
I'll be dancing behind it. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Absolutely. New Jersey Geordie says, Alex, can you explain what you mean between a proper coach and a man manager?
I think Steve McLaren's probably the best example of that. And if you've supported us for any length of time, you'll understand exactly what I mean by it.
Absolutely.
Decent coach, was part of the Man United sort of coaching setup when they were very successful.
Mm-hmm.
He assembled. He was given a bit of money, to be fair. I think we spent the most in Europe in his January transfer window. And he assembled a squad that had got Sissoko and Wijnaldum and that lot in it and got us relegated, really. Rafa couldn't save it in time. And then, funnily enough, that midfield pairing both went on a few years later to face each other in a Champions League final, Liverpool versus Tottenham. So obviously the players were fine. It was the manager.
Yeah, I mean, he even managed to get himself an England manager's job, didn't he? And what a catastrophe he was during that little kind of reign.
So he's not a bad coach,
Brilliant
certain,
coach.
The recruitment was actually good. I feel like our recruitment in that little spell was really good. We did go through fits and spurts of having decent recruitment under Ashley, but it was because there was an emphasis on bargain hunting. So we did find some really good gems in the market, and we occasionally assembled some really interesting squads. The squad that we came fifth with. There was some okay stuff. We were sort of scraping the bottom of the barrel, but we made it work. But McLaren's probably the best example of decent coach, but when he's in charge of the whole lot, he gives himself a landline and sits in the stands with a telephone instead of being on the sidelines. It was as soon as you make him the decision maker, he just did really weird stuff. Because I was at that first game of the season. It was against Southampton. It was Mitrovic's debut, and McLaren was up in the stands with his telephone.
Yeah, it was
really odd, really strange.
Dark days. But of course, he's number 2 to Ten Hagel now, isn't he? So, Mr. Reaction says, I won't have a bad word said about Alex. But Paul, someone asked on the group to put a vote. Shall I join you for a show? I'd be honoured. I'd even miss my mother's funeral. Sorry, Carol. Wow. Don't worry. We will get you on. But yeah, you're also welcome to come on all the Face the Lad shows, even if it's just for a motivational speech, if we're feeling a bit down. Matty says Saturday is the time to test Hall. There with the injuries in defence and with the Champions League on Tuesday, at least he has to have a run out and give Byrne a bit of a rest before AC Milan. Billy, I'm seeing a few people think that he's not going to start Hall, that he'll probably go with Byrne at left back and put Lascelles in alongside Cher.
I mean, if we wanted to make our defence even slower, that's the way to do it. But I think Lascelles is a better centre half than Dan Byrne. So, I mean, if it was Lascelles and Hall, I'll be happier. I must be honest. Yeah,
I think Lascelles could come in and do a job, but Alex, we paid 30 million quid for this kid. We've got to play him at some point, surely.
Yes. Yes is the answer. I mean, you'd depending on injuries. I mean, this massively depends on Botman and his availability, whether he's going to be fit for Milan. Maybe this is why we're doing this. Well, if there's any truth in Botman not being available. If Botman's not available, Hall is going to start against either Brentford or AC Milan.
Mm-hmm.
Probably best to give him a start. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know how I'm going to finish that sentence. Because then we're going to have to play Matt Target against one of them, and I don't really want to play Matt Target against either.
Well, yeah, but I'll ask you the same question I asked Billy last night because it did crop up. What is Eddie going to prioritise? Is it the bread and butter of the Premier League or the Champions League? Notice he's taking a swig of lager before he answers that question.
I thought you'd ask Billy that. I do apologise.
Well, I did last night.
I've already answered it.
Yeah.
You know what? I think he's just going to go for every competition. I think he's just going to try and play the strongest possible team he can in every single competition because it's what he's like. I just think he will. I think he'll, and I think it could be an issue. But I think he's going to try. I think he will intentionally try and stretch the squad because he knows we're just going to get more players in anyway. Because I would imagine we'll get players in January. I'd be surprised if we don't bring in at least, because we brought one in last January. I would imagine we bring in more than one this January based on Adidas and different things. Especially with the Champions League. Plus, obviously last December wasn't as bad because of the World Cup, but this year we have a proper December, absolutely rammed to the teeth full of fixtures, along with a bunch of Champions League fixtures that we've never had before as well. This squad anyway. So it's going to get... January the 1st seems eons away. It's going to... There's so many matches between now and when the next transfer window opens. I think he's just going to go for it and hope for reinforcements in January. I really do. They reference this in the documentary as well. I think it was Amanda who stated, we think Eddie's going to want to try and fight on all four fronts and he's going to win every competition.
Yeah.
And we know that's what he's like. So I don't know why he's going to be, I don't know why he would be any different. I think he's just going to try and win every game, which is going to stretch the squad. But that's what he's there to do. So try and win as much as he can.
He's not going to rest players to Saturday's game to aid Tuesday's game. He's going to try and win every next game he plays. He wants to win it. Simple as that.
Exactly.
So he prioritises the next game all times.
which makes his team selection very interesting for me for Saturday. But look, Brentford, again, we need to say this. There's no easy game in the Premier League, and Brentford have proved under Thomas Frank that they can go to the biggest stadiums and win. The one at the Etihad, that takes some doing. We haven't done that in the Premier League yet. We've done it in the Cup, of course, but not the Premier League. So they are dangerous, and they will cause us a problem, Billy.
They will. However, I do believe without Ivan Toney in the side, they're not as potent up front. I believe with the loss of David Raya, I believe they're not as strong defensively because the goalkeeper was a fantastic goalkeeper for them. A real brick wall between the sticks. So I think they're a little bit weaker than what they were, but they have signed some good players too. So I actually think we can win Saturday, even weakened, which is odd because I was quite worried early in the week, but now I've thought about it properly. I actually do see us winning Saturday.
You're not going to enjoy the stats I'm going to show you then, Billy, because they completely contradict what you've just said.
Well,
I haven't watched much Brentford, so I can't disagree with you.
Facts are Tony's gone and Tony's not there, and Ray is one of the best goalkeepers in the league.
I agree. I'll show you though. You'll see what I mean when I show it.
Yeah. Roger says, Alex, my only whinge, bud, is that your Madri taste gets me to go to the club for one. A welcome whinge.
Well, it is not Madri now. It's Cruz Campo at the moment.
Basically, Alex just picks up whatever's on offer. I think you'll have realised that now. He walks in the shop, special offer. Alex picks it up. Or if it comes with a free glass, if any lager is given away with a free glass, even if it's pure oil to drink, he will get it just because he
come free with the beer.
And there you go. There you go.
Very nice glass, I've got to say.
It is actually, yes, it is.
Sevilla, I'm collecting the Spanish glasses. I want that San Miguel glass, Cruz Campo glass, Madrid glass.
Yeah,
I like the Spanish beer.
Now, stats, graphics, Alex. Do you want to show us these graphics on?
Yes. Let's throw this up, shall we?
I see John Joe Sharp has gone to Turkey now, hasn't he?
He has, yes. I mean, he's. I just can't help thinking he's through with his career. Not by just. I think
it will suit him. I think it will suit him. He looks like the last turkey in the shop, doesn't he? So.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, fair enough. So that is this the 11 that they might well play?
This is the 11 that they used in their last Premier League fixture.
Right. Okay.
So obviously, injuries, changes, but this is how they have typically been lining up. It's not a bad side. I do think they've put together a really tidy side. Brentford were known a couple of years ago for being a bit of a moneyball club at a higher level. And to be fair, we've looked at a few of the players in their squad. We've looked at Hickey. We've looked at Collins. It's no surprise that they've ended up in a Brentford squad because they try and find players that profile a certain way and they try and recruit for the team. Pick the right profiles.
Didn't we try and sign a centre back from Celtic that went to Brentford? I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
yeah. Literally on the doorstep of signing him.
They're all fairly young. They're all getting better. Norgard's a little bit older, but Norgard again is not the most technical midfielder, but he's a defensive monster. His defensive output for the last few years has been absolutely enormous. And Buemo now is playing like a man possessed. We saw him at 22 years old. I think when he first came. I don't know if you remember him. Do you remember when we played against Brentford with Ericsson there?
Yeah.
Away when they got a red card. I was a little bit nervous about Mbeumo against Target for about 10 or 15 minutes until they got that red because he was so dangerous. He's such a raw, talented player. And he's now scored a bunch of goals and he's very lethal for them at the moment. He's definitely improving. So is Visa. So is Sharda as well, who they've just signed on a permanent, who is rapid as well as causes people a lot of problems. They're just a well put together side. They've recruited well. They're careful. It's one of those teams where there's not very much sort of expectation. I could see if Brentford can keep recruiting in the next 2 or 3 years, they could push to what Brighton are doing now. I really think they can if they can slowly keep developing, as long as they don't get it wrong. But they're doing really well with their recruitment. And if we have a look at their recruitment, this is the recruitment for this year. So Nathan Collins was a bit of an outlay at 26 million. But again, 22 years old, lots of experience in the Premier League, really, really solid. They brought in Schade, who was on loan, I believe. So from Freiburg, they brought in the keeper from Freiburg to join him, the 30-year-old from Mark Flecken.
Tell you what, Billy, that Schade gets about, doesn't she?
She's a smooth operator, though, isn't he?
Oh, yes, very, very, yeah.
Obviously, I think they've brought in Mark Flecken because David Ray has gone on, obviously, on loan to Arsenal with an option to buy, I believe it is. So, you know, they've recruited fairly well. And as we can see in that, they've also got Aaron Hickey, who was very, very highly rated. Pinnock's a big traditional centre-half.
I have a feeling, though, Alex, I think Ben Mee might play Saturday.
Yeah, they've got Ben Mee in there as well, to be fair. They've recruited so well.
Ethan Pinnock had one of the worst games I think I've ever seen anyone over at St James Park last year. He was absolutely appalling.
Yeah, but typically he's not too bad. Obviously, you're allowed to have off games, you know. But so statistically, I'll point to you, you know, one of the reasons why I don't think they're missing Tony at the moment. Expected goals, their XG is the highest in the Premier League. They are first. They have produced 10 XG in their first 4 fixtures, which is higher than Brighton and Man City, which is very concerning.
And where are they in the actual goals scored league then?
You can show you goals per match.
6th.
Two per match. So they're 6th in the goals per match. But where's the overall goals? I don't know if it even shows that.
I mean,
we can have a look anyway.
If Ivan Toney was playing, I'd imagine that'd be higher.
Potentially, but it's less about what they've scored and more about how they're playing. They are creating the chances, which means they're doing they're doing everything correctly. The XG proves that they're making the chances, which is good, because you only get, you know, you get very low XG if you're taking pot shots, but you get given lots of XG if you're creating high value opportunities. So it means they're playing well. It means they're creating lots of good value chances, which is what we should be concerned about. Hopefully they just hit the bar and they don't put them in, but they are at the moment digging out really good opportunities, which we've got to take them seriously. Additionally, if we go to have a look at the player statistics, their top scorer is Mbeumo with 4 goals so far this season in 4 matches, which is quite high. And they
you know what, Alex? That works out in a goal a game.
It does indeed. So, you know, there's a lot of goals there. Schade with 1, Visa with 2, and Mbeumo with 4. That's the front line. They're all contributing. They're all bagging goals. You know, Mbeumo's got 4.1 XG on his own.
I mean, Mbeumo's, he's up. He's top for everything.
I mean, he's got an assist and 4 goals. So they're really not doing bad at all. And then if we have a look at some of their players, so this is on Fotomob. Obviously, he's left-footed. He's playing out on the right a lot of the time, so he can cut in. He can be annoying. He's quick. He's powerful. He's still only 24. And you can see here, it's all business end. It's all speed, power, make things happen here, and just be strong. Win the first ball and do stuff. That's it.
He's not. He's not a creator, is he? He's more of a just.
I mean, if we put him as a forward, which he is, it suddenly changes these statistics.
Yeah.
That was an attacking mid versus winger. He does profile a lot more as a forward. If you change it to a forward, it looks a lot better. But he's very much a powerhouse. But I don't know if some people,
man.
I don't know if there's a lot of clips floating around, to be fair, on the internet of Mbeumo's skill. A lot of the time, he will just take the ball with his wrong foot and do a little trick, and then power stomp away. Like, he's a really gifted footballer. Like 10 or 15 years ago, you wouldn't see this caliber of player at this team, but because obviously there's just the technical level of every team is just increasing so much. They've got really good players. They're a really balanced squad. They all know their roles. They're very well drilled. They've got good quality. They've got some decent, pacey, powerful forwards with a lot of technical ability. They're putting up the numbers. We have to, again, there are no easy games in the Premier League. We've got it. If we want 3 points, we have to bring our intensity and our A game, because they're not a bad team. They got 2-2 against Brentford, against Tottenham. They are Brentford. And they're unbeaten in, as somebody said, 11 games. Yeah. So we do have to show them a lot of respect. They're not a bad team at all.
I expect them to be quite physical as well, Billy. I think that's what Thomas Frank will drill into them, that the physical side of the game, he won't want his team to finish second best. He will expect Brentford to be physical and match our physicality, because that's one thing I expect us to do on Saturday, is be very physical. get in the faces, press, and really just a totally different way that we went about the game against Brighton.
The press has to be uniform, has to be at the right times. They've all got to go together, not one at a time, which happened against Brighton. The midfield have got to stand up and be physical and technical at the same time. I think they can do that. It's the defence that I am worried about slightly. But if we play the right players in the right positions, I think we can keep them out. I do, honestly. I'm quite confident about this one. Middle of the park where the game's won, I think.
Yeah, but given the form, again, we moved to left back, Alex, given the form that Dan Burn has shown this season, which hasn't been great, and Mbeumo plays on that side, it's going to be a particularly very interesting battle, lad, isn't it?
I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified of their front three with the players we've got available. I am terrified. Lascelles is not the best player for the offside trap, as we're aware. He's not as good as the others are. So if Lascelles starts, that's a concern for me with Schade, Visa, and Mbeumo. With just their speed is unreal. Yeah. And then if we've got Burn and Target next to each other, that little gap in between them or the space in behind Target, I'm terrified of that. I am scared about the pace of their forwards, and I really hope that we play Hall. Or if he does play, because we've seen like sort of Burn play left back and be very respectful of space and make sure he keeps distances appropriately. And I trust Eddie Howe to do the right thing, because they're going to be fully aware that Brentford have got a lot of pace on the counter-attack and they are dangerous, because it's all well and good at our press being unified, but they can destroy us with one long ball. Just one long ball. If they ping a ball over and somebody misses the header, they're not going to catch any of those front three. Not a chance. None of our back line. Not a single one of them. Trippier, Cher, even if Botman was fit, none of them are fast enough to catch them. None of them. So I am a little bit scared of that. So we've got to make sure we play a very careful game.
I mean, they need to, play the game like Trippier does with his head, so he doesn't get outdone for pace, Billy, because obviously, we've seen Trippier many, many times now reading the game so well that he doesn't, majority of the time get caught for pace. He's very alert to the situation. So, again, whoever plays alongside him in that back four has got to read the game very well on Saturday rather than rely on pace, because it's simply not there.
Well, I feel Trippier's got a massive kind of role to play, well, he always does, but even more so this week, because he has to keep Cher awake and in the game. Because if he isn't, we could be in trouble. He wasn't in the game against Brighton. He was asleep. He was casual.
I mean, everybody was disappointed with his attitude, really, or his body language against Brighton was all wrong, wasn't it?
I think Trippier's got to really get into him from the start. I'm sure Eddie Howe will anyway. I'm sure he'll start the game like that, but as the game goes on, Trippier's got to keep on at him. I think it's crucial that happens.
Yeah. I just wanted to pull up. Jason says, has anyone seen the Newcastle councillor Jane Byrne vote against the Cellar fan park? She's tweeting no Saudi Toon as well. As far as I can read, the majority of the councillors have voted in favour of it happening. I think there's an announcement going to be on Monday, but by all accounts, it looks like it's being given the go-ahead by the relevant party. So
I think she was the only one to vote no.
Yeah, I think she was, so she can moan all she wants. It ain't
she's entitled to her own opinion. Yes. However, if she's going to vote for something against something like that in a constituency in Newcastle, I expect she'll be voted out the next time.
She voted for noise, wasn't it? It was against the
noise
being
pollution
too
or something, which is bollocks. It's Newcastle City Centre. But it's Newcastle City Centre, which is known for its, shall we say, enthusiasm, or during a football match or a night out. So I don't get it. It's just one of them things. Paul Tully says Dubravka won't be in goal. We will need Pope's quickness off the line to tackle any long balls. But this has got to be right, Alex. He's got to time these better than he has been, because we're hard back to Brighton, but it's not just Brighton that Pope's been looking a little dodgy. It's most of the season, and he's got to just calm down a little bit.
I don't know. I don't think the sweeping's been bad. I think the sweeping's been fine, actually.
No, his passing, his delivery of the ball is not being good.
No, the sweeping will be an asset to us in this game for Nick Pope. in recent games, he's been far more. He's been safer with his decision making in the sweeping. So he will come out and he will just kick it out for a throw. If he's not sure, straight out, because he's just trying to be safe with it. And then he goes back into his goal. It's all good. But yeah, you're 100% right. The passing, I mean, he'll be well aware of that. He needs to make sure that it's better. Although I don't know if you watched the highlights of the same game last year. We actually scored a goal against them specifically because David Raya made an identical goalkeeping error where he kicked it. He tried to clear it, and
he did.
And we scored a goal. So it's quite funny that it's come full circle, really.
And a few people, Billy, putting comments about Nick Pope saying that they don't think his hand is 100%, and he's worried about it. But I mean, you've mentioned him coming out and collecting crosses or punching or anything like that, but it's his kicking that I've been a bit worried about. But you've noticed in games that you've watched that he doesn't really command that presence that he maybe did last season.
I don't think I've seen him catch a ball this season. I think he's palmed whatever it is away, no matter how hard or soft it is. He's palmed it away, and I think the hand probably has healed, but in his head he's got a little kind of doubt about it. I don't know. Just what I'm surmising. I am worried about him because I don't think that he has confidence in sharing and Burn in front of him or sharing the Lascelles in front of him. I think he needs Botman in front of him to get his confidence. And the defence in that case, they're also going to be shaky because they know that they've got an unconfident goalkeeper behind him. It was obvious that's what happened against Brighton. You could see it after that first goal that neither trusted each other.
I mean, the back four was all over the place at the Amex, wasn't it? It really was. Well, let's have a look at Newcastle now. Is this your projected lineup, Alex, or is this just our last game? You're on mute, mate.
I think it's the most likely lineup.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
So, I mean, just my thoughts on the most likely lineup. I think it's very close to Wilson claiming a start. Very close. However, you can't drop Isak because Isak's just an absolute monster. It's a real tough decision because, again, the only way you shoehorn Wilson is by moving Isak over. Yeah, but then that raises the question that Gordon's been amazing as well. So,
well, yeah, but if you look at it another way, if Isak, had performed for Guardiola like he's performed for Eddie the last couple of games, and I'm more thinking about Callum's thinking here. Callum's now seeing Isak not really do the business the last couple of games. So surely Callum gets a nod, gets an opportunity to say, right, I should be centre forward.
I can't disagree with you. I think it's very possible, 100%. I think it's very possible that Wilson gets the nod. Very possible. But I just can't physically drop Isak. I would. I'd
hate Isak to be dropped, but I genuinely think he's better on the left. I
don't know if he's better on the left. I think he's better when he sees more of the ball. I think is probably my assessment of it. He does prefer the left, but I think you just got to give him more of the ball because he's on the ball stuff. I know we talk so much about off the ball with this Newcastle side, but on the ball, he's a freak. But we need.
Is there any reason you've got Jacob Murphy as number 16, Alex?
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. He can be number 16 for a while. He's a joker. We can give him a funny number.
Yeah, but I would have thought that would mess with your OCD. I didn't know.
But Murphy's the funny guy. He's allowed a funny number. I've gone with Murphy purely because it's not really worked with Miggy recently, although he has hit the crossbar and done a couple of things that were close, but he's not done what we needed him to. I think Murphy was very unfortunate to be sort of stuck out of the side purely because he became a father. I thought that was very unlucky. And he kind of deserves to be back in the team. We've not been winning and he's been really good, so put him back in. He can offer nice defensive things with Trippier. He works hard. He's a bit more traditional, offers something a little bit different, plays his role very well. He'd be more than happy to be substituted. He doesn't mind. I just think it's time to give Murphy a go. What else have we changed? Obviously, a lot of people shouting at me about Tonali. I'm just guessing he's not fit. If he is, then great, brilliant. But
absolutely. But I still don't think he'll risk Tonali on Saturday. I think he'll want Tonali fit for the Milan game. If he's,
potentially. So I think it's more likely. Again, this is my most likely squad. I think it's more likely that Longstaff starts. But Tonali could again. And again, Anderson for Joe Linton. It depends. Does Joe Linton come back jet lagged? Is there an issue? Who knows? It could be a number of different things. Same with Bruno. Again, Bruno's just played two fixtures for Brazil and come back from across the globe. So he might
on the plus point,
he
he looks like he's got his form back. And if you let the, if you haven't seen the daily news video I did earlier on today, it looks like his contract is Newcastle are pretty much ready to announce the contract extension, which Billy, I guess, is something off his back. I'm not sure whether it has anything to do with his performances on the pitch, whether it's hanging over him or not. But getting it done and dusted out the way, it stops all the pathetic rumours, doesn't it?
100%. Yeah. I mean, I think the rumours created a kind of witch hunt against him. And they're obviously false, made-up rumours, as we all know. That created a witch hunt against him, and it forced him to play. Well, it didn't force, but it put him in the back foot. He wasn't happy about it. You saw what he put on Twitter. And he was a bit inside himself, wasn't he? With it wasn't his usual self in the next game or two.
Yeah.
But new contract, I think we'll see him back to his best. I think that balance of that side is better with Longstaff in it, I've got to say.
I do actually like the balance of that side. Geordie 2 for Life says Southgate did say in an interview that Pope was injured. I heard that he let it slip in an interview that he said Pope was injured, but I didn't really pay any attention to it. I mean, it may be that Nick Pope himself had a conversation with Gareth Southgate and just didn't want to put too much stress on his injured hand. He wanted a bit more time before he goes into, because I know, Dubravka will probably play the cup games. I expect him to play the cup games. So maybe that's the case. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Joe Bentley says, just reading my son a bedtime story and listening to you guys, then started talking to my son about the Brentford team.
I hope he got to sleep nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul Tully makes a good point. Hopefully Shea Given can help with that. He was a brilliant collector of the ball. Yeah, now he's in and around the squad, Billy. Maybe that's just what we need.
100%, yeah. I mean, if you're going to learn from anyone, you might as well learn from the best. I mean, he's one of the best keepers the league's had, so why not?
Nick said if Nick Pope's hand was healed, or I expect he meant wasn't healed 100%, he wouldn't be playing. Just think his confidence is low. Yeah, I mean, look, it could be any particular reason. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But listen, Nick Pope can turn out on Saturday and be brilliant. I think he's got to be switched on, especially if there's changes in the back four. He has to make himself, vocal. I think that's been the problem. Where I sit in the Leazes, you can hear the goalkeeper screaming for corners or crosses when I'm not hearing that at the minute. And I heard it a lot from Nick Pope last season. So, it could be just a confidence thing. But I mean, Botman makes a huge difference as well. When the centre-back system is a little upset by an injury, then, you kind of... Because Dan Burns played so long at left-back now, and then he's thrown back to centre-back. It can be a bit difficult. It can.
I think it's just because it's Botman. I think if you lose the left-back or Share, you can kind of paper over the cracks, but Botman is such a big player. You can't paper over those cracks. It's a big hole. Yeah.
Arturo says, I prefer Dubravka than Pope. Well, Arturo, I know, but you prefer shit to caramel sauce. So, I mean, it can be
Have you also noticed, because Arturo never liked Anthony Gordon. He constantly talked about that.
Yes.
What do we think now, Arturo?
Yes. Arturo.
They still won't like him.
No. And if you're still genuinely not happy with Anthony Gordon, please do tell us why. Obviously, we open it up for you to have your say on that.
Because he's a Scouser.
Hey. Mark says Isak has more influence when he plays wide. He seems to get pushed around by centre halves when he plays through the middle. Billy, I'll go back to when he first signed. You did mention that, though, that he does get bullied. I haven't seen it. I mean, personally, I'm not sure. I think he's a lot better at getting stuck in now than what he was. But it is a genuinely good point, that.
Well, the first, I don't know. I think after kind of February last year, I think that point was made a bit moot because he was bullying everyone, to be honest. And this season, hasn't had real service. He had a couple of chances against Brighton. The previous couple of games, he had minimal service, didn't he? So, I don't think he plays Saturday. I'm perfectly honest. It wouldn't be my team on Saturday.
No.
Devil's advocate, Konsa and Mings, Aston Villa, first game of the season, two very, very physical centre halves. He had no problems. So he's inconsistently.
Mings only played a quarter of the game, though. To be fair,
yeah, but Mings got injured because he sat.
Well, he sat Boston. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, shoulder charge. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I mean, look, personally, my personal favorite is when he's out on the left, because I think when he gets the ball and he's running a right back, I think he's just genius. The ball sticks to his foot like nothing I've seen before. It's just incredible. And that Everton goal will, it'll live long in the memory. Just genius. But the problem is you've now got Barnes and Gordon on that side as well. A lot of people in the comments saying that they'd love to see him in a number 10 position as well, playing off Wilson. We saw that, of course, at Brentford last season. And it worked a treat because we came back in the game. He set Wilson up for his goal. Everything went well at Brentford last season, Billy, when he was playing off Wilson. Well,
he gambled at half-time, didn't he? He did. He gambled at half-time. And he had to, because the first half we were pretty poor. And when he's coming second half, we just looked a better side altogether. I think Anthony Gordon come on and made a massive contribution too. Was it the left-hand side he played? I can't remember, but it was a much better second half performance. But we did gamble. I'd say if he's going to play through the middle, and I think he should personally. But if he's going to start drifting wide, then you've got to get Miggy in the middle to fill that gap in. And Miggy's not kind of wanting to do that, is he? Which is one of the reasons why I'd have Murphy.
I'll tell you, you've just said it. I'll tell you who is good at drifting inside centrally and popping up in silly places. He's Murphy, and that's where he gets most of his goals, because he just
the Everton goal is point.
Yeah, he's always just in the right place. He knows where to be.
I think Murphy though has the capability, and this is what we've spoke about so many times with Miggy. Murphy can go in on his left or his right. We've seen Murphy cut in and hit brilliant shots with his left, as well as his right foot. I think it's awesome.
Arturo has responded.
Oh, I'll come to him in a minute. I've seen it.
It's about veiled compliments.
I'm happy with the rat. He has improved. Okay, well, that's got to be a plus point. Interesting comment from Foxy here, guys. Bruno was poor away in Peru. Brazilian fans were slating him pretty badly, sadly.
Well,
I didn't watch the game. Not sure.
I didn't see the Peru game, but he was fantastic in the one before that. They must have very short memories in Brazil.
Well, yeah, because the Brazilian fans were raving about him after that.
Exactly. They must have very short memories. Must be all the wax. Must be all the wax, mustn't it?
Yeah. Barry the Bee says, if Bruno signs this extension and still isn't up to speed, I hope Bruno needs dropped. Doesn't get worse. He clearly isn't feeling enough love from the fans. I don't know, because the last home game he got lots of love from the fans. And I think he knew it as well. Fuggy Crack says, Paul, Billy and Alex, the three amigos, good show as usual. Thank you very much. Gary says, Stato, I go with your thinking with your lineup. Gordon on fire this game. Would you maybe put again? Would you maybe put? You know what I'm going to. You know fine well what I'm going to say here.
I agree. It's a good, interesting test.
Gordon on the right, Isak on the left.
He's not going to do it. Because that's all three of our centre forwards on the pitch at the same time from starting. Where do we go from there?
Well, no, we got Barnes and Wilson still. Oh, no, Wilson's in the middle. I do apologize.
Exactly. I agree with you. I wouldn't mind seeing Gordon as a test on the right. I just don't think. How many times last year would you go? Did we all go? I'd like to see Miggy on the left for one game. Oh, we'd like to see Miggy on the left. Never happened. Not once. And I think this is going to be the same sort of thing. I just don't think we're ever going to see it. I think we're going to keep talking about it. It's just never going to happen.
Yeah. Takoya Fraser says, don't you think Bruno and Joe Linton would do less work with Brazil than if they were at training with Eddie?
Who knows?
I don't know.
How kind of strict the Brazilian coaches. Who knows?
I would imagine he's... Oh, Barbara, I'm so sorry. My beautiful mum got COVID 2 weeks ago and passed away this morning at 6 a.m. Barbara, I'm so sorry to hear that. Thoughts and prayers to you. And I'm sure everyone at the Toon Review will reciprocate that. So stay strong, Hunt. I know it's a very, very difficult time, but you've got your Toon Review family here if you ever need to talk. So you're not alone through that. Just remember that. And we wish you very best. Sorry to hear that. Barry says, form can dip sometimes. We just need to get back to form. Yeah, but again, it's finding the right balance, Alex, isn't it? You know, we've got very good players, but he's got to find that right balance, hasn't he? Which I don't think we've seen yet. I mean, I know we've come Villa, but I just, there's something not quite right.
But I think we're better than Villa in every position. When everybody's fit, we're better than Villa. And Villa are a good side, but we're just better in, I think maybe Ramsey's is a miss for them, but I think we're better in most of the positions. Whereas the next three teams we played are the three highest technical level teams in the league in City, Liverpool, and Brighton. And it's fine margins. Again, we should have won that Liverpool game. It's fine margins. We made mistakes. Mentality wasn't there in certain points when it needed to be.
Yeah,
it is what it is. The issue now is we've given ourselves a bit of pressure in that now there is an expectation and we need to start beating these teams that we should be beating, like Brentford. However, it's not going to be as easy as we think. Brentford are not a bad side. Again, there's no expectation for Brentford to win this. So they can adjust this fixture at ease with no pressure. They can just be told, right, go, play your hearts out, try and win the second balls, play well on the counter-attack. They've got no pressure. The expectation is for us to win this game. So this is what we talked about 18 months, 2 years ago. Now that momentum has shifted. We're suddenly not the underdogs in these fixtures anymore, and there is a massive expectation.
Yeah.
We talked about this a little bit last year, that we've got to start learning how to break down these rigid teams and be careful with the counter-attacking in certain styles. This is going to be probably the first official test, because I think Villa didn't show us enough respect. They were like, we're as good as these, and we played them off the park quite comfortably. The other three, we know what happened with them. But now this is that first test of okay, this is a team we should be beating. They are the underdogs, and we've got to make sure we get it right. Hopefully we do.
The point is, though, we had trouble breaking down. I mean, I've got no doubt it'll be a low block, quick counter-attack from Brentford.
Yeah.
We struggled against that last season. We brought in creativity to get around that in Tonali. He's probably not going to be playing, so it's kind of it's a test of the old guard to a certain extent.
Although we did put 5 past them at home last season without Tonali.
We did indeed.
So it can be done when we're at the races.
Yeah, that's what we've got to be, at the races. Barbara, I hope you're reading all the comments that have come in from the Toon Review Army. I know you have, because you've just put a comment in there saying you've been blown away by all the comments and lovely thoughts and prayers from everybody. So hopefully that, just helps you a little to know that you've got so many people rooting for you and thinking about you right now. So stay strong. Tom, I'm not sure whether I agree with you here, but fair enough. He says people talking like Willock is the answer. I really like him, but he's as wasteful as Miggy. I mean, he does lose the ball a bit, but I'm not so sure.
I don't think that's what he's referring to. So I tweeted about Willock today. I mean, I love Willock. I think he's amazing. However, I can't really disagree with that comment. So I think he got 9 goal contributions with 3 goals, 6 assists, but he should have had 7 goals, 7 assists. So he should have come out with 14 goal contributions, and he didn't, because he was missing a lot of sitters. However, you can see the potential there, the athleticism, the willingness, the technical ability. Some of the assists he got last year were elite. That cross to that outside of the foot, whatever it was an absolute beauty. Whatever it was to Isak.
Can you imagine if Messi had played that pass? Messi or Ronaldo did that. They'd be on Sky Sports. Exactly. They'd be on the, before they go to adverts, when they do the Sky Sports advert and things like that. In the background, they've got certain players. It would be the pass. But,
exactly.
Matty says,
the thing with Willock is, even in Steve Bruce, he was lethal in front of goal. And the game against Brentford, I don't know if it was last season or the season before, it might have been the season before, the finish he scored in that game was a phenomenal finish. And yet we see him kind of, when he's in the box in the past 12 months, not as good, but when he's outside the box, he's finishing again. He's a real miss to the side, Willock. And if he's confident, I think he scores 10 to 15 goals a season for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's only just turned 24 last month, remember? So there's still plenty of time for him to improve this.
Yeah. Matty says, I watched Isak game for Sweden when he scored his header. He swapped and drifted out to the left. They kept interchanging, and Isak looked very good. See, that's what he liked doing for Sociedad, though, wasn't it? You know, in drifting out, and that's where he was at his best. He really was. Right, we're going to do the team predictions, and then I haven't given away a single prize tonight.
Give one away, Melvin.
Right, I've forgotten all about it, even though I mentioned it at the start of the show. Right, this is members first. Don't worry, we will get the viewers. If you are a member of the channel, you need to put in the comments hashtag King Kev. All one word, all in lowercase, hashtag King Kev. I'll tell you when to start doing it because I haven't actually put it in the competition yet. So just bear with me. Uno memento.
Don't be premature. Don't be premature.
Yes. No. Right. There we go. Okay. Start putting in hashtag King Kev. Mystery Reactions. You'll probably need to do it again. No, you won't. It's registered. So do it again if you want. Hashtag King Kev, and you will be in for the draw. We'll keep that open for around 2 minutes.
Only.
So if
members only.
It's members only, this one. So Joe Linton, Living Man, you're not in there. You're not a member, so you won't be counted. Jordy 1994, no, you're not a member. Julie J, you'll have to wait because you're not a member yet. So keep them coming in, guys. By the way, John Bruce, you put a comment in saying, I hope you don't think JB was me. It never crossed my mind, John. Don't worry about that. He's gone now, so that's all we're bothered about. So if you remember, you have to be a member. Irani Granny, stop cheating. You have to be a member. Hashtag King Kev. Ian, where's the hashtag? It's on your keyboard somewhere, mate.
Where's the hashtag?
Pedro, you're not a member. What is so difficult, guys? If you are a member of the channel, you can be in this draw. We will be having a draw for everybody in a moment. So this is just for the King Kev photo. You got 30 seconds.
I mean,
that's not me. That's my impersonator. Well, I've seen 2 accounts for you, Rani. Not sure what's going on there. Dean, you are not a member. If your name is green in the chat, you are a member. Christ. Oh, dear. Billy Bones, you are a member, but you've missed the hashtag, mate. You have to put a hashtag. Oh, dear. I love these draws on this show. It's absolutely superb. Right. That is it. No more entries. We are going to do the draw right now. I need to flash up my screen here. Pardon the
If you've got a MacBook, it's option and then number 3.
It is. Oh, I turned my camera off by mistake there. Right, there we go. Just share screen. I love these competitions because it throws me completely.
What about
pound sign King Kev?
What?
Pound sign King Kev. You can't find his poor...
No, pound sign King Kev won't work, but right, here we go. Can you see the screen? You can. Right, here we go. This is for the King Kev. Bush. Matty Davies, you have won the King Kev. Now, Matty, can you put a comment in saying, yes, I'm here, just so I know that you've actually seen that you've won? So, Matty Davies, put a comment in, please. There you go. He's in there. Matty, I need you to send me your address, please, via email. The email address is in the description down below for this video. So, just email me your address, and I will get that prize off to you very well. I'll get it off to you tomorrow, actually, so you'll be straight in. I need to just
actually my nickname when I was going to go out on the town.
Right, this competition is for everybody. Okay, so you need to hashtag Sir Bobby. Hashtag Sir Bobby This is everybody, so not just members. Hashtag Sir Bobby, and you are in with a chance of winning a Sir Bobby Robson book. So get hashtagging again. It's crazy. It's just it's like doing bingo here. Hashtag Sir Bobby, all in lowercase. Anyone can be in this one. Anyone at all, even you, Ranny Granny. So we'll leave that open for about a minute and a half. While we're waiting for this one, Billy, what's your team for Saturday?
Pope in goal, Trippier at right back, Share right centre back, and Lascelles. And Lewis Hall.
Interesting.
Then I'm going to go Bruno, Longstaff, Anderson.
Right.
Almiron, Wilson, Gordon.
Wow. So you think Miggy's going to play? Wow. Secret Carpers actually put in hashtag we love you Stato. That won't get you entered though. Mr. Reactions is in there again. Lots of Sir Bobby's coming in. So we'll leave it over 30 more seconds, guys, to get your hashtags in. 30 seconds, and then we will get this drawn out. I could be a bingo caller, couldn't I? I mean, yeah.
On its own, Newcastle United's victories.
Yes. Two fat ladies. What other, Billy?
88.
Yes. Let's have a look. Richie's Den, Alex. What number's Richie's Den?
Richie, not Richie.
Rishi, or Rishi, whatever.
Richie's Den number. Go on, say it.
How are you, Alex? 10. Yes. Legs.
11.
That's right. Yeah, somebody would always whistle, wouldn't there? Right, here we go. This is to win the Sir Bobby. Wow, look at this. 154 entries so far. Right, the draw is happening now, people. Here we go. Just wait for them last couple to be registered so everybody's in. There we go.
I like how Arturo's entered. You should swap the prize if Arturo wins, just for like a Anthony Gordon
Gordon signed photograph. Yeah. Here we go. And the winner is Living Man. Living Man, if you're alive, can you put in the chat that I am here, just so we know that you are aware that you've won the prize?
I am here.
Interesting, Billy. I don't know what voice you would try.
Do you remember the sort of sounds of Fools and Horses? Aubrey, I am here.
Living Man, yes, you're here. You've won the prize. Send me an email with your address. The email address is in the description, halfway down or something, where it says business inquiries, and the email address is there for you. Right. This is members only, okay? Members only, this next draw. And the hashtag for this one is, I don't know what to put for this hashtag, guys.
Big Joe.
It's another. No, it's not Big Joe's photo, this one. It's for the other Bobby Robson book. So, what could we put?
That is a bush.
That's too long for people to type.
Just put hashtag Toon.
No, I know what we're doing. Right. This is for members only, and you need to put in hashtag raw meat. So hashtag raw meat, all one word, all lowercase. This is members only. We've got another prize for everyone coming up in a second. So hashtag raw meat for all the members. Members only. Why do some people who aren't members still try and get away with it? I don't understand. Hashtag raw meat, and we'll keep that open for about a minute more, and then you'll go into the prize. While we're doing that, Alex, what's your team for Saturday?
So Pope, we do need a goalkeeper. Pope, Trippier, Share, Lascelles, Hall, with Bruno, Longstaff, Joe Linton, although 50-50 with Anderson, but I think Joe Linton did quite well at Brazil. And then I'm going to go with Murphy, Wilson, and Gordon to start, because I just think it's what's going to happen. I think Isak might get dropped because Wilson's been scoring. So
Interesting. Right, the members draw is done, so we will now go back to the giveaway, even though some people have tried to cheat. However, you won't get away with it. Here we go. This is for members only Bobby Robson book. JT Dunk, you have won the Bobby Robson book. Can you put in the chat that you've seen you're a winner? We'll just wait for JT Dunk to confirm that he has seen that he's a winner. And then we'll do the final draw. Come on, Dunk, where are you? Big Dunk.
Like how we've got a new member just after we've done the last members draw. That's very unfortunate.
I know. Unbelievable. JT Dunk, come on. There he is. I'm here, mate. Well done. Email me your address, buddy, and I'll get that sent off to you tomorrow. It's going well. It's going well, guys. It's going well. Right. We have one more draw, and this is for everybody again, okay? This is the Joe Linton signed framed photo, and it's simply hashtag Big Joe. Hashtag Big Joe, all one word, all lowercase. Get hashtagging again. And this is for the final prize of the night. So hashtag Big Joe. This is for everybody. All the viewers that are watching now, hashtag Big Joe. We'll leave that open for a couple of minutes. Right, my side for Saturday is Nick Pope, Kieran Trippier, Fabian Schär, Dan Burn, Lewis Hall. Midfield of, if Tonali's injured, Longstaff, Big Joe, and Bruno. Front three, Anthony Gordon, Callum Wilson, and Jacob Murphy. I think he'll hang on to Miggy and he'll hang on to Isak and give them a bit of a break, ready for AC Milan. So, yeah. It's a bit, I mean, we've got a bigger squad, Billy, but it feels like it's not that big when we look at like team predictions.
It is a big squad, but we are short in certain areas, aren't we? And centre half is one of them, of course, which we've all said for months. So,
yeah, absolutely. Right, 30 seconds. Well, we'll leave that for a minute. We'll do our score predictions before we do the final draw. Alex, what scoreline are you going for on Saturday?
3-1.
And who's going to get the goals?
I'm going to go with Sharda first for them. I think we're going to get done on the counter-attack. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet this game. No chance. But then I do feel like Wilson's going to get one because he's just in that headspace right now of he's just being fairly clinical when he's on. And I have not got a clue who the other two are going to be. I feel Wilson's going to get one, but
probably Botman this time.
More. That's why he's not good because Botman's injured.
Yeah. I feel like we'll get one from a set piece. We did it last time against them. Bruno got that cheeky little header, went around the back of the set piece, around the back of all the Brentford players. Sorry, I'm gone. You guys go, and then I'll think of my other two.
Billy?
No, I think 3-0 personally. I think we'll return to form. I think Wilson scores 2, and I think we'll see a massive kind of return to everyone's adoration. Not mine, but everyone's that's kind of been on his case. It'll be a Bruno mega goal.
Fair enough. I'm going 3-1. I think 3-1 for me. I think if Callum Wilson starts, I think he'll get a couple of goals. And I would love to see Anthony Gordon get another one, or even Jacob Murphy for that matter if he starts. So, yeah, 3-1 for me. Alex, have you picked your other two goal scorers yet? Or
Yeah, I'm going to go with Murphy and Bruno.
Okay.
I feel like Bruno does all these 25-yard shots. Again, I said this a few weeks ago. One of them's got to go in because he's done quite a lot. So maybe one of those little 25-yard pingers, and then Murphy just doing Murphy things will just find a way and then do something funny because it's what Jacob.
I think Bruno will score a long distance goal. I just don't think that their keeper is as good as Raya was. What's his name? Lackenmacher, whatever his name is.
Flecker, yeah. Not another Lackenmacher. We can't be done with another Lackenmacher. Interesting. We've all gone for wins, good wins as well. So we shall see. By the way, Sean McEwen, welcome to Members Club, matey. Thank you for joining the Toon Review and welcome to the family. You will be in future members draws, which we're going to start doing much more regularly now, guys, because, as I say, people are sending me prizes to give away. We've got loads of stuff here to give away as well in the archives of the Toon Review. So lots to go. Right, let's do the final draw. This is for Joe Linton's signed framed photo. So, well, it's not framed. It's in like cardboard, and then you can put a nice frame in it. Right, we've got, let me put the draw on the screen. So there's over 170 people in for this one. So here we go. Who will come out a winner this time? CJ, you have won the Big Joe photo. So can you put in the chat that you've seen you've won? We'll give you a minute or so to do that, but be quick, because if you don't, it goes on to the next one. We redraw. So please, CJ, if you're there, put in the chat that you've seen that you've won. Barry the Bee, I will not redo just for you. CJ is there. By the way, I loved you in Baywatch. So CJ, if you can send me your address, please email it to me. The email address halfway down the description, business inquiries, and then it's the email address. So if you can just send me an email, and for all the winners tonight, if you can just put in the subject what prize you've won, so it doesn't confuse me, and I can't remember an hour ago, never mind last night's show. So when I post them tomorrow, make sure in the subject you put what you've won. So thank you very much to everybody for taking part. We will, of course, be doing another prize draw for members very, very soon. So if you want to be in with members draws, click that join button. But that is it for tonight, I should say. Thank you very much to everybody who has joined us. Once again, thank you to all the support for Alex. We really do appreciate it. And yeah, if you have enjoyed, please give it the thumbs up as per usual. Please, just before you click off the channel or the show, just hit the thumbs up button. We really need to get the likes up. I can't stress how important it is for this channel to keep the likes coming in. And if you're new to the channel and like what you've seen, please do hit the subscribe button, which is free to do so. And also that notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or scheduling a show, I should say, or we upload anything to the channel. Thank you for all your new memberships and super chats tonight. And of course to the mod squad, and of course to Billy and Alex. But you guys out there are absolute legends. We love you all, and thank you for the continued support. We really do appreciate it. But we will be back tomorrow. I will be doing a press conference video as well, so keep an eye out for that. And we will see you very soon. Have a good evening, guys. Good night.
Away the lads and lasses. Come on.
Come back and check out some green.